Hi guys, and welcome back to part 12 of I Know Why Your Results Might Suck. Okay, so in the last video we talked about sleep, okay, and how improving your sleep really is an awesome way to feel healthier, lose weight, and just generally have a happier life. But now I'm going to move on to another area that's possibly holding people back, and that's your exercise, your activity levels. And you'll be aware that we are coming to the end of this current series, and exercise is featuring quite late on, which is really interesting because most people, in my experience, use exercise as the first place that they go to, certainly when they're trying to make a change with their health and certainly lose weight. They think that they need to, join a gym, do exercise, move more. All of those things are kind of correct, but it's certainly not the first focus. The amount of times people approach me, they want some kind of help with personal training, and all they talk about and all they focus on and all they want in theory is just someone to help them exercise. Again, that's fine. Exercise is such a fantastic thing, and we all need to move more and have exercise in our life, but, and this isn't going to be everyone, but it's certainly my belief that people won't get results unless they focus on the other things first. And that's ultimately what we do here. That's what the health formation is, transforming people through health. And then we apply, exercise on top. But, if you're not clear with what it is that you actually want, and you don't know why you want it and why you really want it, and then if you're actually willing to then go ahead and make certain changes, create a new lifestyle to fit in with, ultimately that goal. And even then, if you've got underlying issues with your gut health, your blood sugar management, your stress, you're not sleeping very well, all those things that we bring together, certainly in my health formation methodology, then your exercise and your nutrition plan, that, let's be honest, most people associate with losing weight, getting fitter, being healthier, those things are just not going to work. You're going to come unstuck. And unfortunately, that happens a lot. People join a gym, they start a new exercise program, they probably go on a diet, they lose a little bit of weight, they get motivated, they get excited because they're making a change, they're doing a good thing, that's great. But then after 3-4 weeks, maybe 2 months, 3 months, whatever the case may be, things stop. Things get in the way. The weight loss that they were achieving stops. They lose motivation. They get bored in the gym. They get bored because they don't know what to do. They get bored because they don't see results anymore. And let's be honest, if we don't see results, we kind of stop something, don't we? Happens everywhere. So, the whole point of the health formation, and certainly my approach these days, is that we look at these other things because they are really, really important. And I can tell you for a fact, the online clients that I have, and they don't see me for physical personal training, actually get really good results. And we don't even talk about exercise because we're focusing on the other things. We're looking at their routines, what they do in the day, what they eat, how they sleep, what their gut's doing, what their blood sugar management's doing, what their confidence levels are like. We start to bring all that stuff together. Any exercise plan and nutrition approach becomes simple. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about exercise. And let's make sure that we're doing the right exercise. Because yes, obviously we want people to move more, exercise, that's great. And at the beginning, that's all we want to do. Too many people try to make things complicated. People have this sense of belief that if it's not difficult, if it's not complicated, it's not very good. Actually, the simple things are always the best. So when it comes to certainly getting people from sitting down on their backside to moving, all we want to do is just get people doing things they enjoy. I will say that the best exercise program in the world and the best nutrition plan is the one that you enjoy. Because if you enjoy it, you're not going to stop. When have you ever stopped something that you enjoy? So if at any point people don't enjoy the process that we do, I'll invite them, ask them to tell me. We can change it. There is more than one way to skin a cat. The approach that we take is just a way. It's not the only way. So certainly from a beginning perspective, just getting people moving is great. And if all those other things are in alignment with that, the results are going to become easier. But there's going to be a point where things need to get a little bit more advanced and specific. Now, if weight loss is your goal, and we'll use that as an example because that is most people, certainly people who come for my help, mostly just want to lose a few pounds, feel good in their clothes. But what I do see is that people often take the wrong approach. Not people that I work with, but people that I just see in the gym, out on the streets. So people want to lose weight, so what do? You often see them going running. Maybe they're going cycling or they're just doing a lot of cardio. But if you're after weight loss and that's just what you want, just running is a bad idea. Now, I'm not saying running is bad, that's not what I said. But running for weight loss isn't going to work, certainly not in the long term. You may lose a few pounds at the beginning, but at some point that will stop. So what we heavily promote here is that people do resistance training, weight training. Now, resistance training could be your body weight, and obviously certainly it's using weights. There's various reasons for that, and just to keep things simple for this video, if you're running kind of burns a lot of things. It burns some fat, but it also burns muscle tissue. So if you burn muscle tissue and you're losing muscle tissue, your metabolism is going to slow down. So just to put that into context, let's say you're doing that for 6 to 8 months, maybe a year. You're losing muscle tissue, so your requirement for food goes down. The trouble is people don't allow that and they just eat the same. So then they wonder why they stop losing weight and possibly put weight on. Now, running is fantastic because I run too. But I do a lot of resistance training. Obviously, we train runners here. If you're going to run and that's really what you love to do, keep doing it. I'm not saying stop. But make sure you have resistance training in there, weight training, at least once a week, preferably 2. And then do all of your other bits on top of that. But it's not just runners. Cycling, it's the same as running. It's cardio. It's aerobic. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that the amount of times that I've seen, let's say, recreational cyclers, amateur club cyclers who are obviously cycling a lot, and it goes for runners, but they're still overweight. They're still hanging on to that gut. Now, there could be a few reasons for this, and we're not going to go too much into the nutrition side of it here, but for the exercise, prolonged exercise like aerobic training creates a lot of cortisol. We've talked about cortisol before in the stress video, and let's say the blood sugar and adrenal video. Now, when cortisol is raised, your ability to burn fat goes down. That's a simple way to put it. Your stress hormone goes up, and as we've discussed, that you're more likely to eat more. So, if you're someone who's going to run a lot and do a lot of cardio, you need to start looking at the things you can do post-workout. Okay? But let's get back on track with the training, because I am slightly digressing a bit. So, what we want people to do is ultimately get strength training in there, weight training, resistance training, body weight training, doing all of the big lifts, deadlifts, squats, lunges, pull-ups, dips, shoulder press, rows and presses. And if we need to make it a little bit complicated, a good all-round structure of things like flexion, extension, pulling and pushing, twisting, all of these things that make a well-balanced routine. And then ultimately, this is kind of why people would use me, let's say, as a personal trainer, because just walking into a gym and then picking up a few weights and throwing them about isn't really being sensible. Obviously, when it comes into people's form, that's a massive thing. If you're training with bad form, you're more likely to get injured. If you get injured, you can't exercise. If you can't exercise, people start losing that ability to, lose weight. Poor habits start kicking in. So there's loads of different ways that we do exercise. We do lots of lower upper body workouts. We do circuits. We've got the strength. We've got the conditioning. Ultimately, we want to you put all those things together to make the best workout for you. The one that you enjoy. The one that you can keep doing. The one that you can be consistent with. Because that way you'll keep getting results. Okay, so bit of an overview there on exercise, rambled on a little bit, brought nutrition back in, but I wanted to hold it at that point because we're going to talk a bit more about nutrition in the next video. So I'll be back with you soon. Take care.